my beloved child, amid the steps with which you are hurriedly moving through each day. I still see you. I see the mornings when you open your eyes with so many things to worry about. I see the nights when you close your eyes in weariness while your heart is still not truly at rest. You think you are simply living an ordinary day, simply doing what needs to be done, simply trying not to be left behind. But I want you to know that there is no moment in your life that is meaningless before my eyes. Every breath, every choice, every silence you overlook is contributing to the direction in which your life is being led. Therefore, today, I call you to pause, not to rebuke you, but to draw you out of the hurried current of the world, so that you may remember that you were not created merely to chase after things that quickly fade, nor were you born merely to be swept into the whirlpool of responsibilities. Work, money, plans, and worries that never seem to end. There are things before your eyes that seem very great, but in the light of eternity, they are only like a thin morning mist, a delayed appointment, an unfinished task, an opportunity that makes you restless, a fear about tomorrow that keeps you awake. I do not take these things lightly, because I know they can weigh heavily upon your heart. But I want you to look farther, deeper, and higher. Do not let the noise of today steal your ability to listen to what is sacred. Do not let the matters that must be resolved in one season cause you to forget the destination that reaches beyond every season. You are passing through this life like a traveler crossing a wide field. The flowers may be beautiful. The wind may be gentle. The road may be uneven. But your true home is not found in the things you hold only temporarily. I want you to live fully today, but without losing the direction of eternity. I know you often think that you will listen to me later, pray more deeply later, return to holy things later, when everything is more stable, when you are less busy, when the burdens have become lighter. But beloved child, have you not seen that the world rarely gives you a quiet space willingly if you do not intentionally pause? Other voices will continually pull you away. They will promise you that if you gain just a little more success, a little more security, a little more recognition, then you will have peace. But true peace does not grow from controlling everything. True peace comes when you remember that you belong to me, that you are kept by me, guided by me, and loved by me, even when you are not yet perfect. You do not need to wait until your life is free from every burden before you can draw near to me. Right in the middle of that busyness, I am standing closer to you than you think. Long ago, there was a man named Elijah, who once stood strong before great trials. Yet there also came a time when he was so weary that he wanted to give up. He went into the wilderness, exhausted in soul, his eyes seeing only loneliness and disappointment. But I did not come to him with harsh words of reproach. I gave him rest, bread and water, and time to rise again little by little. Then, when he sought my voice, I did not appear only in violent things that shook the earth and sky, but in a deep gentleness, in a still small voice, gentle enough for an exhausted heart to recognize that I was still there. Do you see? I do not always call you with thunder. Sometimes I call you through a quiet space, through a sudden holy longing, through a gentle restlessness in your heart when you have gone too far from what matters most. And today, if you feel this word touching the hidden place within you, it is not a coincidence. It is my hand resting upon your shoulder, gently reminding you, return to what is lasting. Do not be afraid when I remind you of eternity, for I do not remind you in order to make you panic, but to awaken wisdom within you. A father who loves his child does not only give bread for today, he also teaches the road so the child will not lose tomorrow. I am the same. I care for your small needs, but I care even more about the deeper direction of your life. If you live only to fill your hands while leaving your heart empty, you will grow weary. If you build only what others can see while forgetting the foundation within, you will become unstable. If you let day after day pass without asking whether you are moving closer to or farther from my light, you will easily be swept by life's current to a place you never wanted to go. Therefore, I do not call you to despise this life. I call you to live awake within it. Work, but do not worship your work. Plan, but do not place the future on a throne higher than me. Love, build, strive, but do not allow anything to replace the sacred place that only I can fill. What you are worried about today, I knew before you named it. What you fear losing, I know why you hold it tightly. What you are pursuing, I know what is truly good and what only shines like false gold beneath the evening sun. I do not want you to live torn between hundreds of voices while forgetting the voice of the one who created you. There are voices that urge you to move faster, to surpass others, to prove your worth through achievement. But I tell you that your worth does not begin with what you accomplish, nor does it end when you fail. You are precious because you are my child. When you remember that, you will no longer allow small waves to determine the great peace within your heart. So in this moment, breathe more slowly. Let the anxieties crowding your mind move into the background. Look again at the road you are walking and ask honestly, what is guiding you each day? Is it love or fear? Is it light or haste? Is it faith or the pressure to carry everything by yourself? I do not require you to answer with beautiful words. I only want you to open your heart. If you turn even slightly toward me, I will meet you with a mercy greater than anything you have imagined. If you are willing to stop, I will show you what needs to be released, what needs to be kept, what needs to be healed, and what needs to be placed back in its proper position. Beloved child, this life is shorter than you think, but my grace for you is deeper than you know. Do not waste precious days chasing shadows while forgetting the source of light. Do not let busyness become a curtain that hides my presence. I am not calling you out of responsibility. I am calling you to enter responsibility with an awakened heart. I am not telling you to abandon what must be done. I am teaching you to do all things in peace, under my gaze, with clean hands and a heart turned toward holiness. From today on, let every morning be not only the beginning of work, but also a reminder that you have been given another day to live closer to me. Let every evening be not only the closing of weariness, but also the place where you place everything in my hands, trusting that I still watch over you when you no longer have strength to watch over yourself. I am calling you with love, not with condemnation. I am reminding you with kindness, not with anger. Return to holy stillness, where you can hear what the noise of the world cannot say. Remember that you are not forgotten amid the vast current of life. You are known, called by name, guided, and loved with a love that does not change. When you set your eyes again on what remains forever, temporary things will no longer rule over you as they once did. And as you continue walking, you will no longer walk merely as someone trying to survive the day, but as a child guided by the Father, passing through this life in light, in peace, and in hope that never fades. My beloved child, be still for a moment and look deeply into the most hidden place within you. Do not rush to answer with your lips, and do not let familiar reasoning cover the truth you have known for a long time. I want you to ask yourself with gentle honesty, in the moments when you were most weary, did you seek my voice? Or did you chase after the noise within yourself, when your heart was shaken, when everything before your eyes became unclear? Did you incline your ear toward me? Or did you allow pride to quietly build a wall between you and the one who loves you? I do not ask in order to shame you, but to awaken you from the trance of self-reliance. For there are times when you do not realize that you are moving away from me, because that step begins very quietly. One time, you do not ask in prayer. One time you decide for yourself, in haste. One time you believe you are strong enough to walk alone. And little by little, distance becomes habit, and your silence before me becomes emptiness within you. There are voices in your life that sound very convincing. They tell you that you must prove yourself, protect yourself, and hold everything firmly in your own hands in order to be safe. They whisper that relying on me is weakness, waiting for me is delay, and obeying me is losing control over your own life. But my child, that is only a false light, glittering for a moment and then leaving dryness within you. When you place absolute trust in your own strength, you think you are standing firm. But in truth, you are carrying on your shoulders what you were never created to carry alone. When you allow pride to lead the way, you may move very quickly. But not every fast road leads to peace. There are paths that begin wide, lively, and full of applause. Yet the deeper you walk, the more alone you feel, the more you gain outwardly. The more you recognize within you an emptiness that nothing temporary can fill. I have seen you many times like that. You smile before others, yet your heart is heavy with things left unspoken. You appear strong, but inside you are exhausted from holding yourself together for too long. You search for reassurance in achievements, in praise, in carefully arranged plans, but with only a small disturbance, everything trembles like a boat in a stormy night. Beloved child, I do not criticize your efforts. I know you have tried. I know you have endured. I know there were days when you had to swallow your tears in order to keep walking. But I want you to understand that true strength is not found in never falling, but in knowing how to reach your hand toward me when your heart is weak. True wisdom is not that you always know every answer by yourself, but that you know how to stop and listen for my voice before continuing. And if today you feel that you have gone far away, do not let fear make you hide from me even more. I do not stand at the end of the road to condemn you. I stand closer than your breath, waiting for you to turn back with a sincere heart. Do you remember the earlier days when even one simple prayer could soften your heart? Do you remember the moments in the midst of trials when a strange peace suddenly covered you, as if an unseen hand had lifted you up again? Do you remember the times when you thought everything had closed, and then another door opened at the right moment, quietly, without display, yet enough for you to know that I was still caring for you? Those things were not coincidences scattered along the road of life. They were traces of my love quietly placed in your journey, so that when you looked back, you would recognize that you had never been abandoned. Long ago, there was a son who left his father's house, carrying his inheritance and thinking that freedom meant going far away from the arms of love. He stepped into glittering places, spent what he had, sought pleasure in passing encounters, and thought that his life had finally become his own. But when everything vanished, when friends left, when laughter fell silent, he saw how frightening loneliness truly was. In hunger and shame, he remembered his father's house. And the miracle was not that the son had perfect words with which to return, but that the father's heart had already been waiting for him for a long time. While the son's figure was still far away, the father ran to him, embraced him, restored his dignity, and held a feast of celebration. Beloved child, I tell you this not so that you would think of an old story, but so that you would see your own image in the days when you move away from my voice, and see my image in mercy that never runs dry. I do not wait until you are worthy before I love you. I love you so that you may have the courage to become new. Therefore, do not let fading values deceive you any longer. Joy without me, as its root, is like a thin stream of water upon stone. It touches and then flows away. Happiness, based only on circumstances, is fragile like a flower petal before a strong wind. Peace built upon control will collapse when the unexpected appears. But when you place your heart in me, you will find a source deeper than every disturbance. You may still face difficulty, but difficulty will no longer be your master. You may still feel pain, but pain will no longer define you. You may still pass through seasons you do not fully understand, but you will not walk alone. I will be the light in your night, the refuge when you are weary, the gentle voice when you are about to lose your way, and the patient embrace when you return with trembling feet. I want you to learn to hear my voice again in small things. I do not always speak to you through great events. Many times, I come through a gentle reminder when you are about to say something that will wound another person. Many times, I call you through a holy uneasiness when you are choosing a path that is not pure. Many times, I comfort you through a kind word, a door opened at the right time, or a silence that makes you realize you need to return. If you keep rushing, you will miss it. If you remain proud, you will take it lightly. If you keep allowing the world's noise to overwhelm you, you will think, I am silent, while in truth, I am still speaking with a love more enduring than every sound around you. My child, today return to the tenderness of the heart. Let your heart stop resisting. Speak to me with the truth. Even if that truth is broken, I do not need you to decorate your pain with beautiful religious words. I want you to come as you are, if you are tired. Say you are tired, if you are afraid. Say you are afraid, if you are lost. Admit that you need to be guided. When you are honest before me, the chains of pretending begin to fall. When you stop trying to be strong at all times, my grace has room to lift you. When you are willing to listen, you will recognize that my voice does not make you smaller, but brings you back to the deep dignity I placed within you from the beginning. And remember, beloved child, the times I once preserved you are not merely memories to move you for a passing moment. They are witness stones placed along the road, so that whenever your heart grows weak, you can look back and say, I was upheld before. So today, I will not be abandoned. I was led through darkness before. So tomorrow, there will also be light. I was forgiven, restored, and healed before. So now, I can begin again. Do not let self-reliance pull you back into loneliness. Do not let short-lived illusions steal away my gentle call. I am still here, still kind, still patient, still opening my arms wide. If only you return, you will see that the way back to me has never been closed, and my love for you still shines like an unextinguished lamp in the long night. My beloved child, before this message closes in your ears, I want you to step into a deeper place, where there is no longer the noise of judgment, no longer the questions that exhaust you, no longer the memories that return again and again, like waves striking a rocky shore. Draw near to me in holy silence, not so that you must appear strong, nor so that you must speak perfect words as though your pain needs to be decorated with outward beauty. No, my child, when your heart has been cracked by betrayal, when the trust you once placed in someone or something suddenly becomes a lingering wound, I do not ask you to hide it. I do not tell you to hurry and smile. I simply call you to come, with everything you are carrying, the disappointment, the anger that has not yet settled, the confusion of not knowing whom to trust anymore, and even the emptiness you feel when the things you once held suddenly slip from your hands. Remember this, beloved child, prayer is not a speech before a high throne, but the honest breath of a child returning to the Father's embrace. When you do not know what to say, Your silence can also become a prayer. When your tears fall without sound, I still fully understand what you cannot yet name. When you can only say that you are in pain, I do not see that as weakness. I see in it a door opening for grace to enter. You do not need to arrange your heart neatly before coming to me. Come right in the middle of the disorder. Lay each broken piece down before me. What you cannot heal by yourself, I can touch. What you cannot release by yourself, I can make lighter. What you cannot understand today, I can lead you through with a peace that surpasses what you are seeing. There are wounds that do not come from strangers, but from people you once trusted. There are promises that once gave you peace, but later became the reason you stayed awake through the night. There are hands that once held yours, but then let go at the very moment you needed to be held most. I know how deeply that hurts. I know that betrayal does not only make you sad, it makes you doubt yourself, your choices, and your ability to love and trust. But my child, do not let someone else's failure to treasure what is precious in you cause you to forget the value I placed within you. Do not let another person's wrongdoing define your heart. Do not let one broken season convince you that only ruin remains ahead. I am still working, even in the places where you thought there was only silence. I am still gathering what has been broken, not to return you exactly to what you were before, but to make you deeper, wiser, tender without being weak, and stronger without becoming hard. Long ago, Joseph was sold by his own family, pushed away from what was familiar, misunderstood, imprisoned, and forced to pass through years that seemed forgotten. If one looked only at each separate part of the road, it would seem that his life was only a chain of injustice upon injustice. But I did not abandon him in the pit. I did not forget him in the prison. Nor did I allow betrayal to become the final mark upon the calling placed over his life. What others used to harm him, I can turn into a path of rescue. What seemed to make him lose everything became the way that led him to where he needed to be. At the right time, for the right purpose, according to the plan that human eyes could not foresee. Beloved child, I tell you this so that you may understand that today's wound is not necessarily a sign of the end. Sometimes the very place where you are pushed down is where I begin to lift you up in a way you never imagined. Sometimes a closed door is not meant to imprison you in darkness, but to keep you from continuing into what is no longer meant for you. So now, let us enter prayer together. But do not read it as a dry ritual. Let each word become the honest heartbeat of your soul. Let yourself cry if needed. Be silent if you cannot speak. Breathe deeply if everything within you is trembling. I am with you. I am not standing far away to observe your pain. I bend close to you, like a father placing his hand on the shoulder of a child, exhausted after a long journey. Say to me, my merciful Father, today I come before you, not with a perfect appearance, but with a heart that needs to be upheld. I hide nothing from you, because you already know even the things I have not dared to say. I bring before you the pain of betrayal, the unanswered questions, the tears I once swallowed inwardly, and the weariness of trying to appear fine when inside I was not fine at all. Continue saying to me, Father, I once tried to hold everything with my own hands. I tried to hold on to a relationship, a belief, an image, a hope, a future that I thought would never leave me. But now my hands are empty, and that very emptiness makes me realize that I need you more than ever. Please do not let me turn pain into bitterness. Please do not let disappointment close my heart. Teach me to release what must be released, not because it never mattered, but because I cannot continue holding what is making me bleed inside. Wash, clean the complaints that are silently taking root in me. Keep me from the desire to retaliate, from thoughts that would make me lose the purity you have lovingly placed within me. Then lay before me even the things you still do not understand. Say to me, Father, I do not know why this happened in this way. I do not understand why my sincerity was taken lightly, why my trust was wounded, why someone I once loved could hurt me like this. But I choose to give you the right to judge, to restore, to guide, and to open the way. I do not want to be dragged by the past like an invisible chain. I do not want to live forever in the moment when I was wounded. I ask you to take the broken pieces that I do not know what to do with, and from them build within me a new peace, a new wisdom, a new strength born from trusting in you. My beloved child, there are times when you stand before a door that is wide open and think that it is the most beautiful path meant for you. You see the outward convenience, the signs that seem reasonable, the safety your heart longs for, and you believe that if you simply keep walking, everything will be fine. But my child, what your eyes can see is only a very small part of the whole picture I am holding. There are roads that begin with fragrant flowers but end in sharp thorns. There are opportunities that first make you excited but quietly draw you away from peace. There are plans you cherished for a long time, believing that if you lost them, your life would fall apart. But in my sight, that very thing, if kept too long, would slow you down, exhaust you, and lead you away from the place where I want to bring you. Therefore, when I allow a door to close, it is not because I have forgotten you, it is because I see what you cannot yet see. And my love will not allow you to keep walking into a place that would wound you. Do not be quick to assume that every interruption is failure. Sometimes, a canceled appointment, an opportunity slipping from your hands, a rejection that saddens you, or a plan overturned at the last minute is my hand gently redirecting your life. I know that in that moment you may be confused. I know you may wonder why you prayed, tried, hoped, and yet the result was not what you desired. But beloved child, you cannot see behind the curtain of time. You do not know what is waiting at the end of that road. You do not know the dangers I have quietly kept from your steps. You do not know the connections, timings, and small events I am arranging to bring you to a better place. Even if right now it seems like a loss, there are prayers of yours that I do not answer in the way you expected. Not because I do not hear, but because I hear deeper than what you say. You ask for something that would make you happy in the moment, but I see what can strengthen you for the whole journey. You ask for a door to open immediately, but I know that if it opens too soon, you will enter before your heart is steady enough. You ask for someone to stay, but I know that their staying could keep you in a cycle of hurt. You ask for success to come quickly, but I know that if it comes before your inner foundation is firmly built, it could become a burden instead of a blessing. Therefore, sometimes my answer takes the shape of delay. Sometimes my protection takes the form of something being taken away. Sometimes my mercy comes to you as an unexpected halt, hurting you in that moment but saving you from something greater later on. Remember the story of Paul. When he wanted to go preach in a certain region according to his own intention, but again and again that path was blocked. Seen with human eyes, it could have seemed like an obstacle, a delay, a sign that a good work was being hindered. But I had another direction. When this door closed, a call for Macedonia opened, and that place became the land of a new mission, of hearts being touched, of seeds of faith being planted in the right time. Do you see? Even something that seems good is not always what I have chosen for that moment. Not every open door comes from me, and not every closed door is a loss. Some hindrances are the hidden map of grace. Some steps backward are my way of placing you back in the right direction, so that you do not merely arrive at a good place, but at the exact place I have prepared for you. Therefore, do not resist every change as though it were your enemy. Learn to listen to me in the turns of the road. When things do not unfold according to plan, do not let fear steal your clarity. Stop and ask, Father, what are you teaching me through this interruption? What are you protecting me from? What are you preparing me for? A heart that knows how to ask like this will not easily be conquered by bitterness. A child who knows how to trust like this will recognize that my hand is present not only on the days when everything is favorable, but also very near on the days when the road is blocked. I do not only guide you by the bright light ahead, many times. I guide you by placing a fence of mercy right where you intended to step through. Beloved child, I know you have dreams of your own. I know you have drawn roads, timelines, and hopes in your heart, believing that if they came true, then you would have peace. I do not despise those dreams. I placed within you the ability to hope, to expect, to build, but I want you to learn to surrender even your most beautiful dreams to me, because what is beautiful in your eyes still needs to be refined by my wisdom. Do not hold your plans so tightly that your hands are no longer open to receive what I give. Do not cling to a closed door so firmly that you fail to recognize that behind you, I am opening another path that is more peaceful. Sometimes what you regret today is the very thing you will thank me tomorrow for not allowing you to keep. Sometimes the delay that makes you cry today is the necessary time I am using to heal, train, teach you discernment, and place within you the maturity that the coming blessing will require.